As the last remnants of sunlight faded from the ravaged horizon, Captain Jameson surveyed the desolate landscape before him. The once thriving colony on Kepler-62f had been reduced to a twisted graveyard of rusting machinery and crumbling habitations. The stillness was oppressive, punctuated only by the faint hum of malfunctioning life support systems. His scavenging team, hand-picked from the dwindling pool of survivors, fanned out behind him, their dust-covered suits and weary eyes a testament to the relentless struggle for survival. The silence was broken only by the crackle of static over the comms system, a reminder that their lonely cry for help still hung in the void, unanswered. Jameson's gaze fell upon the skeletal remains of the colony's central hub, its once vibrant dome now shattered, spilling a jumble of twisted metal and shattered dreams onto the barren soil. He remembered the day they'd arrived, full of hope and determination, ready to forge a new society on this distant, Earth-like world. Now, the very thought of that optimism seemed like a cruel joke. "Captain, I found something," a voice called out, echoing through the desolate landscape. Jameson turned to see Dr. Patel, her suit's visor smeared with grime, gesturing to a partially buried structure nearby. The captain's heart quickened as he strode towards her, his mind racing with possibilities. "What is it, Doctor?" As Jameson approached, Patel's gloved hand gestured towards the exposed core of a once-buried facility. The captain's eyes widened as he took in the unfamiliar symbol etched into the surface of the structure, an odd, pulsing glyph that seemed to drink in the faint light around them. "This isn't from around here," Jameson stated, his voice barely above a whisper. "Is that some kind of doorway?" Patel nodded, her eyes gleaming with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. "Preliminary scans indicate it's some sort of portal or gateway. I'm picking up residual energy signatures, but they're unlike anything I've seen before." Jameson's thoughts raced with the implications. Could this be the key to their survival, a way off this dying planet? Or was it a trap, waiting to snare the unwary? "Captain, we need to be cautious," Patel warned, as if reading his mind. "We don't know what's on the other side, or what kind of technology this is." Jameson nodded, his mind already racing ahead. "Assemble a team, Doctor. We'll suit up and investigate. If this is a way out, we'll take it." The silence that followed was punctuated only by the soft hiss of their suits' life support systems, and the distant hum of the portal, waiting like an open mouth, ready to swallow them whole. With Patel and two hand-picked crew members, Jameson approached the portal, their suit lights casting eerie shadows on the surrounding soil. The pulsing glyph seemed to grow brighter, as if sensing their presence. The air was heavy with anticipation, the only sound the gentle hum of the portal and the soft crackle of their comms system. "Captain, I'm reading a stable energy signature," Patel reported, her voice steady despite the excitement in her eyes. "It's not fluctuating, and I'm not detecting any obvious traps or defenses." Jameson nodded, his grip on his suit's utility pack tightening. "All right, let's move out. Patel, you're with me. Harris, you're our anchor here. Keep the comms open and be ready to pull us back if things go south." With a deep breath, Jameson stepped forward, the portal's energy enveloping him like a warm, golden mist. The world around him began to blur, colors bleeding together as the sensation of movement grew more intense. He felt Patel's hand grasp his, a reassuring touch in the face of the unknown. The last thing Jameson heard was Harris's voice, distant and indistinct, saying, "Good luck, Captain, Godspeed." Then, there was only darkness. When Jameson's eyes flickered open, he found himself in a world unlike any he'd ever seen. The sky was a deep, electric blue, and the air was thick with an otherworldly energy. Strange, twisted trees loomed above, their branches like grasping fingers reaching for the sky. In the distance, a city unlike anything humanity had ever built rose from the ground, its spires and towers a madman's jumble of curves and angles. Jameson's gaze locked onto Patel, her eyes wide with wonder as she stared at the alien landscape. Where are we?" she breathed. The captain's own mind reeled as he took in the sights around him. They had stepped through the portal and into a reality beyond their wildest dreams. or their darkest nightmares. Jameson's gaze swept the horizon, drinking in the surreal beauty of this new world. The city in the distance seemed to pulse with an energy all its own, as if it were alive. He felt the weight of his decision, the burden of responsibility for the lives of his crew, settling back onto his shoulders. "We need to explore this city," he said, his voice low and even. "Find out what kind of technology they have, and if we can adapt it to our own needs." Patel nodded, her eyes never leaving the cityscape. "Agreed, Captain. We might find a way to communicate with whoever built this place." As they ventured towards the city, the air grew thick with an electric tension. Jameson's suit alarms remained silent, but he couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The trees seemed to close in around them, their twisted branches creaking and swaying in a way that seemed almost deliberate. The city gates, when they reached them, were a wonder of alien craftsmanship. Iridescent materials glowed with a soft, ethereal light, and the very fabric of the gates seemed to shift and flow like a liquid. "It's like nothing I've ever seen," Patel breathed, her gloved hand reaching out to touch the shimmering surface. Jameson's caution proved unnecessary. The gates slid open with a soft hiss, revealing a city that defied all human understanding. Towering structures of impossible geometry loomed above, their surfaces etched with symbols that appeared to shift and change as they watched. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the soft hum of the city's energy grid. Jameson's crew moved cautiously, their footsteps echoing off the crystal-like buildings. Every step felt like a betrayal, as if they were trespassing on a sacred site. And then they saw them, creatures unlike any they had ever imagined. Their bodies a blend of human and machine, their eyes blazing with an otherworldly intelligence. The city's inhabitants turned to face them, their faces a mask of cold, calculating curiosity. Jameson's heart raced as he raised his hands, palms open, in a gesture of peace. The creatures did not respond. Instead, they began to move, their movements a blur of speed and precision, as if they were about to pounce. Jameson's grip on his utility pack tightened, his mind racing with the implications of this encounter. Had they made a terrible mistake, stepping into this strange new world? The creatures closed in, their movements eerily synchronized, their eyes fixed on Jameson and Patel with an unblinking stare. The air seemed to vibrate with tension as the captain and his crew members stood frozen, unsure of what to expect. Suddenly, the lead creature's gaze snapped to Patel, and it spoke in a voice like a gentle breeze on a summer day. "You have come from the other side." It was not a question, but a statement. Jameson's eyes darted to Patel, who seemed transfixed by the creature's words. "How did you know?" Jameson asked, his voice low and cautious. The creature cocked its head, a gesture that seemed almost human. "The portal's energy signature is distinct. We have been waiting. The word sent a shiver down Jameson's spine. "Waiting for what? For them? For humans? What do you want from us?" Jameson asked, his hand resting on the hilt of his utility knife, a futile gesture in the face of this alien technology. The creature's gaze never wavered. "We want to know why you have come, why you have crossed the boundary." Jameson hesitated, unsure how much to reveal. But something about the creature's words, its tone, made him feel like he was standing on the edge of a precipice, staring into an abyss of uncertainty. "We came seeking refuge," Jameson said, his voice barely above a whisper. "Our world is dying. We sought a way out, a way to survive." The creature's gaze seemed to bore into Jameson's very soul. "You have entered the Nexus. You have entered our domain." And with that, the creatures moved, their bodies blurring as they encircled Jameson and Patel. The captain's heart raced as he realized they were being surrounded, trapped in this alien city, with no way to escape